Yeah, I came 3,000 miles from California, Venice Beach, to come and record and be part of this big sense of history. Yeah, big history is being made with everyone's waking up because if you're a Republican, you're Tea Party, or a Democrat, one thing a lot of their constituents have in common is that a lot of them are losing their homes. They have that in common. Well, they think there's all these differences because the parties are keeping them all, on side issues, but blaming immigration and all these other side issues, when the immigrant whole thing can be a very big asset to this whole movement. Right. They should look at it completely different because everyone's an immigrant unless you talk to the Native American chiefs.
And that's what we are.
It's all a country of immigrants. So big history is being made here, and these people are all very courageous. And I think this occupation is going to be permanent. It doesn't have to have 1,000 or 5,000 people here, but I think it's just going to be permanent. And things like this are going to grow in cities all across. But I mean, they're going to grow from the seed where they already started. I think it was already like 200 cities. And it's going to increase, and the foreign press will have a field day with all of this because they're going to report. What we're not hearing here as Americans, it's on the foreign press newspapers. And their main goal is going to be to start really putting pressure on their elected officials to start better changing, or they're just not going to have a job. And start changing the laws that the Supreme Court passed about a corporation being a person, which is utterly ridiculous, or that they can spend as much money as they want. If they can spend as much money as they want on any elected official, that means your vote, your friends vote, Danny, and everyone's vote across the country. It doesn't mean anything. It's a joke. What could your vote possibly mean when they're being bought off by the big corporations who are unrestrained in all the money that they're making? People have to stop not buying at the McDonald's and take their money out of the banks, the big banks. Bank of America, Wells Fargo, not because they don't like the people within the bank, but because overall the banks are pushing the war. The corporations making all this money, the drones killing innocent people, the whole thing is bad. So I think people want to change the whole system. Get rid of these politicians and just start changing the system. However it's going to come out, it's hard to predict. I mean, it was hard to predict when we finally got into battle with the British government back in the 1770s. No one exactly knew. No one wanted to fight, but they kind of forced it. So, I'm philosophically hoping that all these things can start being resolved by people starting to rise up.
So basically, you're saying you're a Tea Party member?
I'm not saying that. I like tea.
I like tea too.
I like green tea. Hey, I'll go for green tea with some honey, raw honey, and mate. Mate's a good tea too. That gives you, lots of energy. I think there's some in the Tea Party, some in the progressive movement, and some Republicans. That they all have these things in common. And
right, exactly.
They just have to kind of let go of some of the other
labels
peeves and all that, and say, look, let's deal with all that after school at the flagpole. Right now, let's just everyone start to unite. Just start to unite and start making some changes because there's too many homes being lost. There's too many jobs being lost, and there's too few people with too much power.
Absolutely.
And in any country, any time in the history of the world, when you have too few people with too much power, it's just not going to work. And it's not because I'm saying it or you're saying it or your friend is saying it. It's just almost like a cosmic law. It's just not going to work.
It happened in Egypt last February. Everyone saw it.
Exactly. Everyone saw that. So that's it.
Dude,
stay tuned for Station Break.